A Fox News alert, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says she may not send the articles of impeachment to the Senate right away.
Pelosi claims she's worried about a fair Senate trial, but could there be another motive for this? Joining us now, Vice President of the Institute for Constitutional Government, John Malcolm. Sir, thanks for coming on. Why do you think Pelosi is doing this?
I think she's going to try to control the Senate process as much as she can. So even though House Republicans were certainly deprived of the opportunity to call the witnesses that they want, so a lot of people see this, that what happened in the House is a rigged system, she wants to make sure that the same rigged system is going to take place in the Senate. The Constitution gives the House the sole power to impeach, and it gives the Senate the sole power to try impeachment, but she's trying to control the process as much as she can.
Let's take a look at the breakdown of these votes, starting with Article 1, abuse of power, 230 yeas, 197 nays, one present, that's Tulsi Gabbard. In Article 2, obstruction of Congress, 229 yeas, 198 nays, and one present, also Tulsi Gabbard. And then we can bring up the Democrat defectors here as well. And you have Jeff Van Drew as a nay, Colin Peterson as a nay, and then again Tulsi Gabbard as present. Do any of those surprise you?
Well, I was a little surprised by Tulsi Gabbard. Colin Peterson and Jeff Van Drew had announced ahead of time what they were going to do. There was a third Democratic congressman who voted against the second article of impeachment, I believe, from Maine. I guess what surprised me is that back in 1998, during the Clinton impeachment proceeding, a number of prominent Democrats, most especially Jerry Nadler, had said that this is an extraordinary step, which it is, and that we must never have an impeachment that completely breaks down along party lines without any support by the other political party. And yet that's what has happened now. The Democrats have proceeded down this road. There wasn't a single Republican who crossed over. And now, having leveled these charges, they now want to be able to say, well, we've tarred and feathered you, but we want to make sure that the trial suits our needs. And we'll see whether we actually bring it to court by if you call this witness but not that witness. That's not the way this is supposed to be done. And if I were Mitch McConnell, I would frankly say, you make the referral and then we'll come up with our rules.
John, the support for this is down. It's moving in the wrong direction. Is there a chance she just says, we don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to blame this on an unfair process in the Senate and just walk away from it now and get out of it right now?
Well, she might decide to do that. I think that would be a bad miscalculation. So whether or not the Democrats are going to suffer as a result of what it is that they've done, and they might, remains to be seen. Things are not going their way in terms of these polls, in terms of certain swing states. But nonetheless, if she now said, well, we've brought these charges, but we're not going to present them in court, basically in this case being the Senate, I think it would be seen as being hyper-partisan beyond anything that's happened so far and grossly unfair, and then I believe that the Democrats would suffer.
John, we have just a couple seconds left to go, and you kind of just said you think the Democrats would suffer, but who do you think in the end would really benefit from a delay here?
Oh, I'm not sure that anybody would benefit from a delay, although I think the Senate would say after a little while enough of these shenanigans and they would summarily dismiss the matter. I think the president would not get to present his defense beyond what he's been able to do so far, which has been really limited. But I think if the Democrats delay beyond the Christmas break, they have to take some time to appoint House managers to do the trial. But if they delay beyond a few days, I think that they will end up paying a price.
And you got people running for president, and the Iowa caucus is coming up in early February. There's a lot to this, John. Thank you so much for your time. We do appreciate it.